We were waiting to come out to the world, I suppose. Today's a day. So we can launch the Instagram channel now, which we just wanted to call Baked.
I'm Shilka.
I'm Keshav. I used to be an engineer where I worked for a year and a half. We decided to get involved in the cannabis industry pretty much when Shilka first experienced a blood clot. She was on quite a bit of prescription medication at the time, especially prescription painkillers. I had known about cannabis and then did quite a bit of research into the medical benefit. Through that, I suggested that Shilka try a cannabis oil extraction.
The issue with me was that I was not willing to smoke it. So then he kind of dived into how can we extract it instead of the prescription drugs. And then what happened was in 2018, the ruling got passed in September where personal use was decriminalized. And so a lot of family and friends were actually willing to pay us for this cannabis oil. And it pretty much snowballed after that.
Instead of trying to make a lot of money in the short term, it was how do we prepare ourselves for once the ruling and regulation happens, that we can be a product that fits into that space. In terms of the selling, this is where it's kind of a complete no-no. Regardless of what the ruling was, they were pretty clear that this doesn't apply to sales. It only applies to what you're allowed to do in your private capacity. People are taking loose interpretations of the law by saying, okay, if I invite someone to my house or to a private venue that I own, shouldn't we be allowed to smoke there and I can sell to them if I want to do anything? And I think this is where the issue lies. People are taking loose interpretations of the law, but so are the cops. Only street dealers are ending up in jail. No one's really getting arrested in Melville for selling cannabis, but if you go to some of the poorer areas in the country, people are flying into the police stations for the same thing.
When was that? A few years ago, huh?
Yes, it was about 5 years ago that I tested clean for cancer, stage 3 cancer.
And before that, you had a little bit of a scare. I had serious relapsing multiple sclerosis, and I was close to death. That was quite a bad time in my life, but then I found the oil, and that helped me, that cleared me basically of this multiple sclerosis. I've got no more symptoms anymore. That people are approaching me now, like we can take care of the basic health care in this country, work with doctors. There's patients, there's people coming to me like myself. I would have been dead. There was the doctors, nobody could help me. Nobody could help me with anything. Not even a pain tablet was enough. I was on morphine, it wasn't even enough. So I was forced to basically illegally heal myself, if that makes any sense. There we are now, waiting from illegally healing myself and people with cancer and so on to actually step up into the economy. Either we're going to sell out to outside companies that take the money to other countries, but we're missing the point here with the potential what it can do to the whole country.
My name is Paul Michael Keichel. I'm a partner at Schindler's Attorneys. It's very difficult to give advice because the Constitutional Court ruling was very express. Technically speaking, these people aren't allowed to be selling cannabis and they ought not to be selling cannabis until such time as Parliament makes the decision to legalize the trade in cannabis, or if another constitutional challenge results in the prohibition of the dealing in cannabis being overturned. So at the moment, these people are taking a very high risk because they in fact have very little recourse in terms of the law. Quite rightly, I mean, there has been a space that's been opened up, but it's a limited space that's been opened up for very reason of the fact that we are in this uncertain grey area at the moment. Because what the Constitutional Court judgment does is to say to a limited extent what you are and are not allowed to do, and then leave certain things up to interpretation, and that's the interpretation of the police and prosecutors.
I'm at mercy of the law, basically.
Yes, we 100% know that what we're doing is illegal, and we believe it is that way. But the idea that we live by is you have to live the future that you want.